Welcome back to Queens of Leisure Gang Gang. I finally got to watch The Godfather, part 1 and part 2. The girl's feeling like herself again. You know, I can't let myself go. No matter how I'm feeling, the show must go on. All right, got to watch The Godfather, and this is like some Robert Greene type of ish. The movie was a lot. It was intense. I learned a lot to the point that it inspired me to want to create a video and to share a few of the pointers, the things I've gathered from the movie. Lesson number 1, let's get into it. Keep your friends close, your enemies even closer. Vito, Godfather, senior Godfather is who I'm going to call him, knew this very well, and Michael became his successor. Michael is deadly, if not deadlier than his dad. That's what I feel. That's how I feel. That's how I view Michael. He's dangerous. I believe he's more dangerous than Vito, than Godfather Senior. Okay? Godfather Junior. Michael, dangerous. So keep your friends close, enemies closer. Lesson number 2 I learned is being on top is very lonely, guys. These men were men who were powerful men, but their circle, going to lesson number 3, is their circle were very small. They weren't having everyone in their business, okay? Vito taught Michael to keep the circle small, and Michael just did just that, to the point where he even excluded his stepbrother. He got involved in the business, but I forgot his name, but he was not all in the business, because I know he did legal things, legal terms, legal stuff for the family. He was like their I think like a family lawyer, but he was not. Michael didn't let him all in. Lesson number 4 I learned is that it's good to say less. Michael didn't say much. He was a man of very few words, okay? Which made what he said carried weight. Going to lesson number 5 is that say what you mean and mean what you say. If he say he's gonna kill you, he's gonna kill you. That's exactly what he did to Freddie. He told Freddie that Freddie was dead to him. Like indirectly, but directly, when he said Freddie, like, I don't want to be in the same space as you are. If you're going to see our mom, you're gonna go see our mom, and then let me know when you're done. I'll come after. Yo, that's some serious stuff. This was his own blood, his older brother. And I can understand why he did that, because he betrayed him. We're gonna go to another lesson. Lesson number 6 we're on is to always side with your family. This guy ended up siding with his family's enemy. And I can see why Michael did this. He excluded his brother. To the point, even when their mom died, Michael refused to go in and mourn with his brother. That's how serious it was. That's how his word carried weight. Like, mean what you say and say what you mean. Saying less, because once you say it, you gotta follow through. You gotta follow through for your sake, for the respect of yourself, for self-respect, and for the respect of others. Okay? Lesson number 7. Control your emotions. Controlling your emotions is powerful emotional mastery. Vito did the same thing. Michael mastered that. He did the same thing. He had like a poker face. You couldn't read him. You could not read this man. Like, his face was poker face. You couldn't read Michael. Love that about him. I love the fact that he was this strong man, like who held his stuff together. He was a strong man. I like that. I found that very attractive. Controlling your emotions. Number 8, you forgive, but you don't forget. Going back to what Vito did, Michael, when Michael, he forgave his brother for betraying him, but he didn't forget. That's why he annihilated all his enemies, because he didn't forget. He even killed his brother at the end. Sadly, he did. He took him out. Even after They came together and reconciled. It seemed as though they reconciled at the funeral, but Michael still followed through. He killed him. He ended him. Lesson number 9. Loyalty is key, but it can be very dangerous. Know when to be able to let go. Know when to let go. Lesson number 10 is to trust no one. I learned that you trust no one. Like, going back to having his brother annihilated, he didn't trust him, even after the fact that he said, crying, like, oh, I didn't know. There was something in it for me, something in it for me. Again, with the emotions, he was weak. He felt basically the fact that he was the older son and Michael became the successor of the family business said a lot. The older brother couldn't handle it. He couldn't control his emotions. You can see he was emotionally weak, emotionally unstable. He wasn't even able to control his wife. In the movie, he was out here drunk, dancing, being all seductive, dancing with other men. Michael had to go in and stepped in. The younger brother, how embarrassing is that? He had to step in to help control his wife. That's, what's the word? Demasculating? That was very embarrassing. I'm sure very embarrassing for him. He took that hit very hard. So, which we can see why he betrayed his brother, because he wanted to be on top. But being on top is hard, it's lonely, and it takes a certain person to be able to handle being on top, okay? Lesson number, are we on lesson 11 or 12? I think we're on lesson 12. Let's call it lesson 12. Always form allies. Although his circle was small, he formed allies. Of course, the allies are the ones that he basically essentially exterminated all of them, which is going to lead to lesson number 3. Always be a step ahead of your enemies or frenemies or whatever. But he was always a step ahead. And he annihilated the 5 heads of the mob for each of the certain regions and cities and whatnot. They just thought they were good, but he killed them. He killed them. All right? He killed them. Play politics. Goes into the ally again. Lesson number 14. I think we're on at this point. Yeah, form allies. Play politics. He played politics. He played the game. Michael knew how to play the game. He learned very well from his father, and that is why I believe he succeeded his father. He knew how to play the game. Politics is part of life, and people, where there's people, there will always be politics. There will always be politics. It is what it is. So you might as well don't hate the player, just hate the game. Just get with the program. Lesson number 15, we're going to say, do not react on impulsivity. Don't be too impulsive, which goes tying into controlling your emotions, basically, right? Because when you control your emotions, when your emotions are controlled, you're not impulsive. Like a perfect example of impulsion, Sonny got killed from being impulsive. He got that call. He didn't wait for the guys to ride with them, at least follow him. He went a step ahead and he got assassinated. He got killed. They put a lot of holes in him. All right. It didn't have to happen because within minutes, like seconds, I think, his men came in and found him dead, like just dead. But had he waited and they drove together, he would have had some backing. He would have gotten hit, but probably not killed, right? So learn to control your emotions and learn not to react right away, because sometimes people are looking for that reaction, and it's exactly what they did to Sonny. They set him up. It was a setup. They knew what to push, what button to push, what to tell him, to have him drive down, and and doing so, he got killed. May that be a lesson, all right? Lesson number 15, I believe we're on, is, what is it? Oh my goodness. Goodness, I totally forgot what was the last one. It was so good too. I think that was it. We covered the lessons. We talked about friendship. We talked about emotions. We talked about forming allies, politics, family matters, weaknesses, and being accountable, saying what you mean and meaning what you say. And all of that played a role into The Godfather. I'm so glad I got to watch it. I wish I watched it sooner. I'm sure there are so many more other lessons that I can talk about that if I were to watch it again, I'd be like, oh my God, this totally should have added that. And should you watch it again too, even as I'm speaking, there are lessons that you're thinking about. So go ahead and add those lessons from The Godfather that we all can learn from. After all, he's our Godfather, right? Anyway, this was nice. Until next time, I will catch you all in another video. Bye for now.